Good afternoon and welcome to TVM News. Today is Friday, September 23rd. I'm Ellen Franz.
And I'm Kyle Driscoll. This week we have news about John Fetterman's visit to Scranton.
We also have news about Marywood being named one of America's best colleges for student voting.
And we'll check in with TVM sports anchor John Downey to find out the latest in Marywood and professional sports.
Marywood has been named one of America's best colleges for student voting by Washington Monthly. This list recognizes 230 schools, 127 of which had a registration rate of 85% or more. Marywood has over 85% of students registered to vote.
Marywood Communication Science and Disorders students attended Children's Career Day this past week. Assistant Professor of Practice Marla Kovac accompanied students Christian Persico, Mackenzie Reinhard, and James Nilig to the event held by the Outreach Center for Community Resources. At the event, the students participated in hands-on learning activities focused on speech-language pathology, audiology, and phonetics.
A Marywood alumni spoke at TEDx Scranton. Caitlin Whitaker, class of 2017, spoke at the event last weekend. She spoke on the importance of mental health in students, especially after the COVID-19 pandemic. Whitaker struggled with her own mental health during the pandemic and wished she had learned some coping skills earlier than she did. She held this TEDx talk to help students get those coping skills before it was too late.
The Marywood Activities Council hosted a slumber party bingo on Tuesday night. Students arrived in their coziest pajamas in the Latour Conference Room at the Nazareth Student Center. Top prizes included an iPad, a PlayStation 5 console, an Easy Bake Oven, and a telescope. When we come back, we'll tell you about John Fetterman's visit to Scranton. When we come back, we'll tell you about John Fetterman's visit to Scranton.
Hey guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Where's your emergency?
Everyone's on their way. What happened? Your friend's not breathing. She's dead? Yes, please get my mom and dad. Oh my God!
Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman was in Scranton last Saturday as part of a campaign stop. Fetterman, who is running for the open Senate seat left by retiring Senator Pat Toomey, is running against celebrity doctor Dr. Oz. The rally was hosted at the Riverfront Sports Complex on Olive Street in Scranton. Special guests at the rally include Representative Matt Cartwright and Senator Bob Casey. Fetterman spoke about hot topic issues like abortion and health care, as well as poking fun at his opponent.
Pennsylvania State Police have revealed that the remains found in Wilkes-Barre in 2012 are those of a teenager who went missing in 1969. The police have not yet officially announced the name of the person whose remains they are, but they told specific news organizations that they were from a 14-year-old Joan Marie Diamond who went missing from her home on June 25, 1969. The official name announcement will come in 2 or 3 weeks.
A not guilty verdict was issued in a Monroe County homicide trial. 68-year-old Randy Halterman shot and killed 20-year-old Adam Schultz and injured his girlfriend when they broke into Halterman's home in 2021. Halterman claimed the Castle Doctrine, saying that he was defending his home when he shot the pair. After a few hours of deliberation, the jury returned with a not guilty verdict for Halterman.
The emergency room at the Berwick Hospital closed this weekend. The Pennsylvania Department of Health claims that the closure came due to the hospital not having enough staff to appropriately run the ER. Anyone who needs the emergency room is now to go to either Geisinger Hospital in Bloomsburg or Lehigh Valley Hospital in Hazleton, places that Berwick residents say are too far away in an actual emergency.
A suicide awareness event was held in Luzerne County Saturday afternoon. Local business Buy Under the Sun held the event at the Garden Drive-In at Hunlock Creek. The event featured raffles, giveaways, and resources for those who need them. All proceeds from the event went to mental health resources in Luzerne County.
A spooky expo came to Scranton on Saturday. Transcendent Paranormal Expo and Vendor Fair was held at the Scranton Cultural Center. The event was hosted by Wyoming Valley Ghost Tours. There were various speakers at the event, along with haunted objects on the 4 floors that the expo took up.
A restored Schuylkill County one-room schoolhouse will soon be open to the public. The Stanhope Schoolhouse in Pine Grove was in rough shape and scheduled to be demolished. The 8-year restoration was done entirely by volunteers with $16,000 in donations and grants. For the first time in 70 years, educational programs began at the schoolhouse.
The ShopRite in Stroudsburg is hosting car washes in their parking lot all month long. The funds raised at the car wash goes towards the local food pantries in Monroe County. The store also collected General Mills items at the front of the store to be donated to the East Stroudsburg United Methodist Church food pantry. When we come back, we'll tell you about 2 airplanes that collided in midair in Colorado.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple? Chop the
Nope, I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope, I'm high. Let's order in.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. Those 9 months were also 273 days of planning. What about your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. And let's not forget those barbecues you plan in detail for your family and your more vegetarian by the day best friends. That surprise party for your parents' golden anniversary? You get the golden planning. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
3 people have died after 2 airplanes collided midair in Colorado on Saturday. The collision was reported around 8:54 a.m. The Federal Aviation Administration and the National Transportation Board will be investigating this incident further.
Over 1 million Puerto Ricans are out of power after Hurricane Fiona battered the island over the weekend. The hurricane made landfall around 3:20 p.m. According to the governor. Fiona dumped between 9 and 13 inches of rain in just under 5 hours. Electricity in Puerto Rico is completely out and many lack access to potable water. Fiona hit the island nearly 5 years to the day after Hurricane Maria wreaked havoc across Puerto Rico.
A senior at Louisiana State University was shot in her car early last Friday morning. 21-year-old Allison Rice was shot multiple times in the driver's seat of her car 3 miles away from campus. She was declared dead at the scene. The motive and suspect or suspects have yet to be determined.
A Florida police officer has been charged after accidentally shooting a man, leaving him paralyzed. Officer Henry Andrews, a Hollywood police officer in Broward County, is charged with a first-class misdemeanor of inflicting actual personal injury after shooting Michael Ortiz last year. Andrews claims he intended to use his stun gun to subdue Ortiz, who was naked and handcuffed when Andrews shot him in the back. Ortiz is paralyzed from the waist down from the injuries he sustained. The maximum penalty for the charge Andrews faces is 1 year in prison.
17 cats were killed after a fire broke out in a mall in Los Angeles where there is a pet hotel. More than 120 firefighters were called to the scene around 5:54 a.m. The firefighters attempted to revive the cats but were unsuccessful. However, 2 cats were rescued from the building.
More veterans have died by suicide than previously reported, according to a new study. The Department of Veterans Affairs suggests that the suicide rate among veterans is 1.37% higher than reported by the VA between 2014 and 2018. The discrepancy in data comes from 8 states and would increase the estimated number of suicides per day among veterans from 17 to 24.
Broadway's longest-running musical has announced its closing date. The Phantom of the Opera has been enchanting New York audiences since 1988. The show announced that it will play its final performance on February 18th. The announcement comes after the pandemic caused New York theater audiences to shrink rapidly.
Adnan Syed, the man whose questionable conviction was popularized in the 2014 podcast Serial, may see a second chance. Baltimore prosecutors filed a motion last Wednesday to vacate the conviction of Syed, who was found guilty of his girlfriend Heyman Lee's murder in 1999. An investigation in conjunction with the defense found evidence that undermines the conviction. Prosecutors claim that this does not prove Syed's innocence, but he should be released on his own recognizance while the prosecution weighs in whether to retry the case. When we come back, we'll check in with TVM sports anchor John Downey for the latest in Marywood and professional sports.
What if you could feel in control of your retirement in just a few clicks? At aceyourretirement.org, you can. Start with a free 3-minute chat with Avo, your friendly digital retirement coach. Just answer some simple questions like, how do you feel about your ability to save for retirement? Or in how many years do you want to retire? To get free action items customized just for you, get your retirement back on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Okay, here we go.
3, 2,
3, 2, 1.
COVID-19 has been a really long and difficult fight.
So when we start talking about COVID, I completely get it. It's frustrating.
We've all been impacted one way or another.
The fight against COVID is also changing really quickly.
And it's sometimes really hard to keep up.
So here are a few things we know.
We are not fighting the same virus from 2020.
Right now, new variants are a lot more contagious and need to be taken seriously.
Getting vaccinated and staying boosted is the best way to keep you protected from COVID-19 and help you stay out of the hospital.
Even if you got COVID before, it's important that you go get your COVID booster.
COVID vaccines are safe.
Much safer than getting COVID-19.
We all want this to end sooner than later.
So go ahead and do things.
Go out and live your life, but get vaccinated. Stay boosted.
We can all do our part.
And get back to living. You can go to getvaccineanswers.org for more information.
Hi everyone, I'm John Downey Jr. and I'm your sports anchor. Well, I'll give you the latest in Marywood sports as well as professional sports. Let's kick it off with Marywood. The women's field hockey team crushed Keystone College last Friday with a score of 7-2. Highlights included Milana Straub scoring 2 goals and Lauren Youngkin scoring 1 goal and assisting 2. The Pacers take on SUNY Geneseo at home tomorrow at 1. Marywood's men's soccer team ended their losing streak with a 4-1 win over Clark Summit University defenders last Saturday. Dave Chemlin and Mason Gulo led things off with a goal and assist each. Darren Hyde made 6 saves, securing the Pacers' victory. The winning streak would not last as the men lost their game against the University of Scranton 6-1 on Wednesday. The Pacers will travel to Glenside tomorrow as they take on Arcadia University at 1. The women's soccer team has entered a losing streak with defeats by both Fairleigh Dickinson University and Keene University this week. It all began this past Saturday when a goal by Carly Walters was not enough to overcome the Devils at Wednesday night's game. The Pacers lost 3-1 with Josephine Soar scoring Marywood's lone goal. The Pacers look to turn things around tomorrow when they play Alvernia University in Reading at 1. The men's tennis team had a string of losses this week. It all began with a 9-0 defeat by Muhlenberg College last Saturday. This past Tuesday, despite singles victories by Jack Biggs and Max Burke, the men lost to Misericordia 4-3. The women's tennis team was more successful during their match at Muhlenberg with a 5-4 victory. Allison Bashore, Gabriella Newak, Faith Hendricks, and McKenna Seavey scored victories in both 1 and 2 doubles. A win by Gabby Nunez at 5 singles gave the Pacers their first win of the season. The success was short-lived as the Cougars of Misericordia beat the Pacers 8-1 during a match on Tuesday. Kat English scored the Pacers' single point. The women's tennis team takes on SUNY Cortland this afternoon at 3:30 at home. Marywood's women's volleyball team fell to Muhlenberg during a game this past Tuesday. Despite 8 digs by Donna Bostajek, 7 digs by Shannon Kaur, and 3 block assists by Casey Hergerstrom, the Pacers lost 3-0. Week 2 was a wild one in the National Football League with 3 epic comebacks, including the Miami Dolphins' thriller over the Baltimore Ravens, the New York Jets' last-second heroic win over the Cleveland Browns, and the Arizona Cardinals' overtime win over the Las Vegas Raiders. The Dolphins staged a 21-point comeback in the fourth quarter behind 4 passing touchdowns and impressive performances from their star wideouts Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, which contributed to the 42-38 win. With 1:55 remaining in the fourth quarter, the Jets trailed by 13 points, but 20 seconds later they scored a touchdown to make it a 6-point game. The ensuing onside kick bounced in the Jets' favor, and they received the ball again with 1 minute and 20 seconds left, and went down the field to score the game-winning touchdown, caught by emerging star receiver Garrett Wilson. As we move into the late window of games, the drama didn't stop, with the Cardinals making a 16-point comeback in the final quarter and tying it up to force overtime as time expired. Byron Murphy Jr. led the Cards to their win when he scooped up the loose ball and scored the touchdown. Moving on to more news in the NFL, Buccaneers wide receiver Mike Evans received a 1-game suspension for his role in the altercation with New Orleans Saints cornerback Marshawn Lattimore. Evans pushed Lattimore forcefully to the ground from behind and was ejected. These two have had a history with each other. This could have been something that has been brewing for a long time and finally reached a breaking point this past Sunday. The Bucs would get the win, winning 20-10 over the Saints. For Major League Baseball, Yankees outfielder Aaron Judge has joined elite company after hitting his astonishing 60th home run of the season. Judge became the 6th player in history to do this. Judge is now only 2 home runs away from setting the American League record, which was set by Roger Maris back in 1961. The all-time record is 73, which was set by Barry Bonds, but that comes with some controversy. That being said, some feel that Judge is going for the unofficial record of 61, because the players ahead of the great Roger Maris all had been busted for performance-enhancing drugs in their careers. Judge has 13 games left to do it, and most feel that he will reach this mark. That's all for sports. We will be back after these messages.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
A rabies alert was issued by North Dakota health officials after a woman brought a raccoon into a bar. The Maddock Bar, located in Maddock, North Dakota, had the unusual patron during happy hour when a local woman brought in the raccoon to show the 10 other people at the bar. The woman and the raccoon eventually left at the request of the bartender, and no one was attacked or injured by the raccoon. However, since 6 animals in North Dakota have been rabid this year, health officials warned anyone who came into contact with the raccoon to be vigilant about potential rabies exposure. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, but if I was at a bar and a raccoon was there, I would pet it.
I mean, as long as he tips well.
Exactly. That's going to do it for this week's edition of TVM News. For everyone at TV-Marywood, thanks for tuning in.
Be sure to follow TV-Marywood's YouTube page and like the TVM Facebook page to stay up to date on the latest happenings and to watch additional content. I'm Kyle Driscoll.
And I'm Ellen France. Have a great weekend, Marywood.